15 years after the cult film Bhool Bhulaiyaa came out, now we're out with its second installment, and I'm here with the smashing Kartik, Aarya and stunning Kiara Advani. Hello and welcome to NDTV.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, I have to admit, when I watched Bhool Bhulaiyaa, the first version of it, I was scared. I was worried if I'll even get to sleep at night. There were moments of the film when I shut my eyes while I was watching it. How scary is this film going to be?
It's going to be scary also, and but apart from that, it's going to be funny, really funny. So it's a complete package in terms of entertainment and the kind of thrills that we have in the film. So the first part per se was a psychological thriller, and it was much ahead of its time. But this one is a proper horror comedy. It's not a psychological thriller, so it's a big difference between the two films, and it's a new story. It will have those scary moments. It will have those thrilling
Jumpstart moments.
Yeah, 100%.
In equal proportion?
As what, comedy and horror? Almost. Thoda comedy thoda zyada ho jayega.
Yeah. So you know, most of the Hindi horror films end up being comedies. So that's why the proportion of how funny will it be and how scary will it be.
So I think the reason for that is because we wanted to make this a family entertainer. So when we say family, we want kids to also be able to come in and watch it. So you can go home and sleep at night. So you will thrill you, spook you out, but in the right proportion to like have you burst into laughter.
Is this movie for the faint-hearted?
Oh,
it again depends.
It depends how faint-hearted you are. Well, let me put it this way, okay? So I personally am very scared of horror movies. So for me, I like watching horror comedies, which is why I think I'm also a part of Bhool Bhulaiyaa too. It's the kind of film that it's like that feeling na that डरना भी है और नहीं, मतलब देखना भी है but डरना भी नहीं है, you know that feeling.
Yeah.
So I think
you keep your eyes,
you're like
try to like hide.
That's how I watched the first part.
Oh, same here. Right?
I was like that throughout.
Yeah. So this is your first theatrical release since Kabir Singh.
No, not since Kabir Singh. There's been good news after that, and good news was the last one.
So this is your theatrical release in the last 2 years. Yeah. So how nervous or excited are you?
I'm very excited, very happy. Of course, there are butterflies before, like any release, before every release, we do feel that. But this time I'm very excited because we've been waiting to come into theatres, and I think with a film like Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2, we believe in the film, in the fact that it is made for that big screen experience. It is a cinematic experience when you walk in. It is a family, film. It's something that we would like you to watch with the audience together. I feel when you watch it together, it's even more fun. Of course, you'll enjoy it when you watch it again and again by yourselves or whenever, but I think just watching it in a theatre, that feeling, we waited for this film. I mean, we literally, like, hats off to our producers who stood by the film for like 2 years because they knew and they were very confident that whenever we come, we'll come only in theatres. So finally, the time
everyone's
has come.
looking forward to this film, and a lot of pressure also on this film, considering some of the recent releases we've had haven't done too well at the box office.
So I mean, that has been a sad story for some films, but what I have to point out is that I mean, good films are still working. People are going, audience is going to the theatres to watch a film. They are spending money and time and you can see the results with a lot of.
So which are the films that are working at the box office? So what is their formula? Like what we're seeing as far as the South hits are concerned, they're wholesome entertainers. Do you think people will now step out for something like that?
Like Gangubai was an example, last example, which I feel was really good, and it did really well. So wholesome entertainment, of course, is something which
and a cinematic experience.
Yeah, you need
you need something that audio visual medium where I want to watch it with a whole bunch of people. It's different when you're at home and you're just like cozying up and watching something, and you can like watch it independent, watch like that. But I feel these films, like be it Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2 or all the films that you mentioned that have done very well recently, I think they are wholesome entertainers, but there's no formula. I think a good film is a good film. Kashmir Files was brilliant. Gangubai was brilliant. So I think a good film will have the audience want to go watch.
It's not just about larger than life or cinematic. It's all the more about good content and people when they
and a new pairing as well, first time around, and I believe you guys have signed another film as well.
हम चाहते हैं कि और करे
Yeah.
साई, but let's see.
Right,
But it's a good thing.
right.
It's a
Keeping
good thing.
mum about the upcoming projects. You also have Jug Jug Jio coming up. Lots more. Can we see a lot more of you this year?
Yes, this year we'll have 3 releases for me, and maybe even 4. I'm not too sure, but it's lovely because I've spent the last 2 years shooting for these films, and I keep joking with my co-actors because he's like, "You're promoting Jug Jug. We're 3 days away from release, and Jug Jug's it's a month away from release from after Bhool Bhulaiyaa, but." It feels like my film festival since I have back-to-back films coming.
Well,
but
it
I
is
hope the audience
also
loves both.
a season of sequels. We have Top Gun Maverick coming out a
Yeah.
week later than your film, and so it does seem like it's the season of
Yeah.
sequels. So tell me, how did you prepare for a role that the mold was cast by Akshay Kumar, the seamless actor? So how did you prepare for a role like this?
I mean, as I told you, this is a completely new film and with new character that I'm playing. So Rohan Randhawa or Roo Baba, the character that I'm playing is a completely new avatar. He's not at all related to the characters from Bhool Bhulaiyaa 1 because it's a new world, new story, and so that was the approach for me as well. I mean, I was lucky enough that it was not a remake; it's actually a sequel and with a new space, new characters, and new story. So,
Will
so
we
for me,
see touches of the first installment?
first installment, yeah, you will, of course. I mean, there are moments which you'll feel, acha, and it'll remind you in a way of a few sequences maybe, or some names like a Manjulika or Chota Pandit in itself, who's played by Rajpal Yadav, is an iconic character from Bhool Bhulaiyaa 1. That has been retained in Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2. So stuff like that is already there. Also the title track, be it the Amije Tumar, or so stuff like that is there in the film to have those moments, but it's still a completely new package, a new story. So for me, it was I think it's stupid if I in my mind or anyone compares what Akshay sir had done. He was brilliant in that film, and I would not touch it at all.
Right. Tell me, has there been your first experience as far as horror film is concerned? Any memory that you couldn't shake off for years later? Like, one of your one first moment that you saw this horror film and you just can't seem to forget?
No, like I started and I told you that I'm not someone who can watch a pure horror film. I need the comedy. I think the last horror film I must have watched was a Hollywood film, and I remember calling my mom and saying, "You've got to sleep with me for the next till I've overcome this memory." I think it was The Exorcism of Emily Rose, where she wakes up at 3 a.m. That's the one, right?
Yeah.
So I would wake up at 3 a.m. every night after that, and like you get that burning sensation because that was in the film. So I would be like, "Can I smell anything burning? No, so nothing paranormal is gonna happen here tonight," and go back to sleep. I was like, I can't. After that, I was like, I can. If there's no comedy and it doesn't give me that, okay, I'm done with it, and it was fun and I was entertained, I can't watch a pure horror film.
What's your all-time scary movie?
Paranormal Activity 1, I think I because all of us thought that it was a true story when they released it, and they released it like a docu, or they released it like a video which came out, and so I think that was really scary to think of it, that this was a true story which happened, and later on we realized, of course, that it was a film, a properly made film. So yeah, Paranormal Activity. Then there's I love a lot of thrillers which have that spookiness to it. I think Psycho being one. Then there is Orphan, which is again a thriller, but it's horrific in its the zone. And yeah, that's about it.
Any spooky,
Emily
scary
Rose also,
moments
also.
in real life?
Spooky incidents.
I knew these questions keep coming to us. And we
In
have to
real
keep
life,
going
not
back.
on set. I'm not even
No,
asking.
fortunately, I haven't had anything super spooky that I can remember. No.
No, you?
No, not really.
No jump start moments.
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, no, nothing in reality, and I would not want it to
Yeah, we
happen.
don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so also coming to my next question, being that you did not answer if you guys are signing a next film together or not, but tell me, which is your favorite track from the film?
From our film, I mean, it's hard to pick one.
Yeah.
Well, they're all. I think the title track is very, very catchy, and the way Preetham Sir has done the new rendition has just been fantastic, and it's been on everyone's. It's been on everyone in the last few days. I think we've
Playlist.
only been listening to this. But then there's also Hum Nashe Mein, which is special because it was also the first song we shot. It's a lovely romantic song. They're all lovely. I can't pick one.
So how long did it actually take for you guys to make this film?
2.5 years, but it wasn't that we were shooting every single day.
Yeah.
It just so happened due to the fact that we started, I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks before we went into a pandemic. And then we had to complete the film in installments, as we have a massive cast. Like you can see, there's Tabu Ji, there's Sanjay Mishra, Rajpal Yadav. So just to get everybody's dates together, all of us, we would keep coming 2 months, shoot, get a month off, 2 months off, come back and shoot. But it was always lovely to come back on set and like meet the entire team. It was always fun because I think this was that one film where we all just had a blast.
Brings me to my next question. What was it like working with the pro?
The legend.
Yeah, absolute legend, Tabu.
She's such a fine actress. I think we were really lucky that we got to work with her in this film. She's a natural on screen. You know, when you're performing with her, I think it's just so easy. You feed off that energy. She's got the most piercing eyes when like she's talking to you in a scene. It's wonderful. And I think what I love about her more is that she's such a calm, chilled out, grounded person off screen. She would always sit, chat with Anisa, they would tell us stories about back in the day, how things would happen, and like stories from previous sets and things like that, which always made us wonder, we should get like better, more interesting stories. You know, when you sit with all these legendary actors and directors, you hear all their stories, which are so interesting, because I think they just had so much fun back then. So do we. But like when we're put on the spot, I don't think we have as many stories to share as they did. I think we just come, we're like focused. But she's amazing. She's really wonderful.
So my next question, before you tell me about your experience of working with Tabu, something on set that we need to know about.
Something on set
That you
We've
need to
come
know
set
about.
stories.
Yeah, like
I think we've been shooting a lot around in India. Basically, we shot in Lucknow, we shot in Manali, we shot in Rajasthan, Jaipur, Mumbai. Finally, we had to actually, because of pandemic, we had to create the whole Haveli setup. And again, hats off to the producers, Murad sir, Bhushan sir, and Anis sir, for putting up a huge set, because that Haveli was huge where we were shooting in Lucknow, and we didn't get permissions later on to shoot over there, and because again there was some wave, third wave or second wave happening, and we got permission to only shoot in Mumbai. So they created the entire Haveli in Mumbai, which was in Lucknow, and we shot there for like quite a while. I mean, for a month or so we were shooting over there, and it felt like that we were actually shooting in a Haveli in Lucknow, which was exact like a ditto copy of the same Haveli. And yeah, so point being that everybody has done a lot of, they've put in a lot of effort.
a lot of effort that's going to pay off. But do tell me, comedy is the toughest genre. Tell me one, you started off with comedy.
Yeah.
Does it get easier along the line or does it get tougher?
I mean, there's always gonna be that sur or thin line in a film. I mean, it's not. It's always difficult. Basically, it's never easy to do comedies, because what happens is it depends on the sur of the director, how the scene that you're shooting is gonna turn out, and the background score is gonna be there, and a lot of stuff goes on when a comical scene is going on, and it depends on a lot of elements. So for me as an actor, I've been trying to match up my timing with the director, the kind of sur that he has for the film, so मैं उससे match कर लेता हूँ, and it works for me. So as of now, I feel Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2 का भी सुर सही लगा है, and I hope जब film आएगी तो सबको पसंद आए. But it's always difficult to do comedies.
Right. So Kiara, talking about social media, you handle your own account.
That's true.
How much time do you spend on social media, and how how do you keep it real with the fans?
I spend a lot of time on social media, more than I should be sometimes. I think it's become more habitual, na? Like when you're just sometimes,
Yeah.
it's such mindless scrolling sometimes, but it's fun. I think what I like about it is it keeps me up to date with stuff. It keeps me mostly in touch with my fans. And like you said, how do I keep it real? I think it's great that you can talk to them directly, that they reach out to you. I think DMs are great. They have wonderful fan groups and we're all in touch like that. So they know if I'm coming to Delhi or if we're like where we're promoting. So then they come along, they meet us, they get to meet us. And I think now even with Zoom, I personally done a couple of Zoom meets with my fans. And I think they've just given you so much love that you feel grateful and want to give it back. So yeah, in that sense, social media has been wonderful.
So we saw this adorable mashup video with that baby promoting the advance bookings of the film. We see your little pet pooch also on social media.
Yeah.
How much time do you spend on social media?
मुझे लगता है main job social media.
And it does pay as well, doesn't it?
It does. Sometimes it does. But a lot of effort. कई बार, I mean, I enjoy it, and but it takes a lot of time. Like how Kiara was saying, you keep scrolling through it, and you keep. I've become habitual to
It's addictive.
It's addictive, and I can't live without my phone. It's something to do with, I don't know. It's that bad habit that I have, and but I enjoy being around Katori. I enjoyed that small advance booking video that we did, and our team came up with that idea, and it really was something unique, and it gelled well with the idea of our film being a family entertainer, that a kid is actually asking about the tickets in a way, in his own gibberish language, and I'm understanding that language, so it was a cute video. So yeah, I mean, hats off to our marketing team for strategizing such ideas, and
Right.
yeah.
Right, so you didn't tell me your favorite song from the film, but we do know of
Can
that
you
hook
too?
step. So can we see that? Can you teach me how to do that?
Which one? The hook step?
Yeah.
हाँ, this okay. Yeah. आ जाओ आपके दोनों हाथ.
You come with us. Let's try.
But it's just the opposite.
It's the opposite.
So
this
you,
is
yeah,
this.
that's right.
That's
So you
right,
do
okay.
opposite.
Okay.
That's
like
good.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy.
Oh. And your hook step, the other one?
इसमें 7 दिन लग गए हमें सीखने.
That's easy. Now we can do it.
Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Dun, 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 dun.
And that hook step, that
Come
other
on,
वो अभी
on the carpet.
one. Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Such a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this.